You're watching CNET, the digital domain.
A bit differently. Whether you want to see the World Wide Web like the folders inside your computer, or you want to take a bird's eye view, Hot Sauce will let you change perspectives.
Instead of seeing one page at a time, you can see several layers deep into the web and have a visual sense of where you're going and where things are.
The theory is to start getting computers to think like we do. For example, if you work on a presentation using several different programs, you probably don't think of everything in a straight line. These technologies would begin breaking down the walls between applications and let you see what you need to the way you would naturally organize it.
We're creating techniques that exploit our human skills, our visual spatial skills.
Insight Technology, a Xerox PARC company, is building what they call Viz Tools, a number of information visualization technologies that take advantage of how we use our peripheral vision.
So even if you're looking right at the focus of something, if you see motion off in the corner, your peripheral vision catches that motion and you know you should attend to it.
You could look at it in what they call a hyperbolic tree, where the information you're focusing on keeps sliding closer to the center and the information in context is near the edges of your screen.
They could see it all, and they don't have to think about it all. When they see something that's important, they start to think about that.
Now, wait a minute, Hari. I went to search.com. I typed in Hari, and I didn't find you anywhere.
I think the key word was important. I think you forgot the word important there. That's
okay.
Really...
Well, when will these technologies be available to the rest of us, and when will it be on the market?
Right now, Hot Sauce is available as a plugin for Netscape, and there are hundreds of sites that will let you virtually fly through them, CNET included. Insight is already licensing their technology to software makers, but how soon you see it will really depend on how soon a standard is established. Because what you're talking about is trying to set a standard for these different viewpoints, much like HTML was a standard for web publishing. And those standards don't come overnight.
Well, don't go away. When we come back, it is payback time for the king of spammers. And if all the pieces to your favorite board game are currently nestled somewhere between the cushions of your couch, like it is in mine, don't worry, they're now available on your computer.
If somebody has a problem with their children hooking in on it, that's something they can censor themselves, but not to deprive us of any literature or information. It's definitely outrageous.
It's hard to say that you'd be for censoring, but I think that too many little kids are getting exposed to too many things.
I think that the government needs to be out of the question, but needs to be supporting the technology and the resources to help families and exercise their own judgment.
Yeah, I think the government should step in. So sometimes the parents don't have enough time to teach their kids.
I wouldn't look to the government to filter who calls me on the telephone or who emails me or who is in a chat room that my children may get involved in.
In this week's Net News, finally some good news from internet service provider America Online. They just launched their own internet search engine. It's called NetFind. The new Net engine is available to AOL members as well as non-members. You can access it through AOL.com, Microsoft's website, or the ABC News site. NetFind lets you search by category, such as business, people, news groups, and kids. And along with the engine, AOL's packaging informational content from sites like MapQuest and Hoover's Business Directory. The provider is also teaming up with Excite to do website reviews. Look for another new net service this week, this time from Microsoft. It's a localized online entertainment directory called Sidewalk. The first installment on this city-by-city catalog will be up and running April 3rd. It features all the entertainment info you need to know about Microsoft's hometown, Seattle. Info on other major U.S. cities will follow later in the year. Log on to look up Seattle's best arts events or simply to find some good seafood. Microsoft's also teaming up with NBC to launch an online business news service with streaming audio and video. MSNBC's business video site offers live coverage of world business news for a monthly fee of $25. The site plans to chronicle market-moving events with analysis and exclusive interviews from CNBC news sources in North America, Europe, and Asia. The service can be received on any 486 PC with a modem, sound card, and speakers. Hackers are attacking the website of the very unpopular innovator Sanford Wallace, otherwise known as the Spam King behind Super Spammer Cyber Promotions, Inc. Wallace's junk email site was cracked into at least twice by hackers seeking revenge on the spammer. The hackers altered a web page, then stole a password file from Wallace, posting it to internet news groups. The file contained names and phone numbers of Cyber Promotions clients. This week, a federal judge ruled that the domain name www.plannedparenthood.com violated the family planning organization's trademark. An anti-abortion activist was using the name to lure netizens into what they thought was pro-choice family planning information. Planned Parenthood of America sought an injunction against the misleading site and won. You can find Planned Parenthood at its .org addresses. To get more on these stories and stay up on all the daily developments of the digital world, you'll want to make sure to visit CNETnews.com.
Thanks, Richard. Now, the biggest computer kid here at CNET is John C. Dvorak, and he's ready to review the latest in board games on CD-ROM. Now, you know, this one is Clue. We all know the game. It's from Hasbro, but they have done all of our games today.
Yeah, Hasbro's gotten into the CD-ROM game business in a big way. Unfortunately, with this game, they're clueless. In case you need a refresher course, Clue is a whodunit, and it's your job to find out the who, the what, the where. Did Colonel Mustard do it, or how about Professor Plum? Was it in the billiard room with the candlestick or the rope? Sounds fun, right? Well, not the CD-ROM version. Clue disappoints at every turn. Here's the problem. It's lame. The acting is cheesy and the gameplay is slow. Just try to unravel the mystery of Arlington Hall and find out who did in Mr. Body, if you don't die of boredom first. For those looking for the classic board game on CD-ROM, they definitely won't find it here. This is a skip-it. Doesn't do the board game justice. In fact, it just plain stinks.
Okay, well, moving on to this board game, it's Battleship. I want to know, does it sink, does it swim, does it just bob in the water?
Well, taking a board game and making it into a CD-ROM, they came up with a winner. Battleship has arrived digitally, and there's some dramatic differences from the original game. Instead of calling out E5, just drag your mouse to the desired square and fire away. The graphics are excellent. You can play head-to-head against the computer or over a network with a friend. Hey, you sunk my battleship. If you get tired of the classic game, move on to a more advanced version. But watch out, this is a complex game, folks, using all the elements of the classic version, battle it out in multiple scenarios, from oil wars to island hops. Find your waypoint, zoom in, and go to war real time. This is a big-time buy it. Great job of turning a board game into a CD-ROM. Highly recommended.
Now, this particular board game is over 65 years old. Now on CD-ROM, it's Scrabble. Tell me how it goes.
You know, if you like Scrabble, you'll probably like this CD-ROM. Scrabble diehards can now celebrate with the CD-ROM version of this classic word game. From double word scores to triple word scores, this game has all the staples of the analog version. J is still worth 8, Q 10. And there are a couple fun features that you can't find in the original game. Try your luck against the computer or in the multiplayer mode over the net. And if you get stuck on a word, well, I found myself clicking the hint button a few times. I knew nacho was a word, but nucha? Cheaters everywhere will like this feature. And you can use artificial intelligence to let the computer simulate the best possible move for you. Who knows, you just might find that all-elusive bingo. I give this a try. I really like this game. It's a little tough at the lower levels. If you're a novice, you might get beat by the computer too often.
You gotta trust this guy. He's playing more games than anybody I know.
Thanks.
What a tough job. If you'd like to find out more pearls of CD-ROM wisdom from John C. Dvorak, make sure you go to CNET.com. There you'll find the complete index of all of his past reviews on CNET Central.
Stay with us because just ahead, Desmond will show us the latest gadget to put the power of your computer into the palm of your hand.